I'm sure if you have kids, they are the first people who introduced you to Akili Kids, but it's not founded by a kid. It's a full-grown man who will tell us how he got into this space. So welcome to Nairobi Garage. Feel welcome and comfortable. Please let's have a round of applause for Jeff as he begins.
I'm Jeff Schon, co-founder, CEO of Akili Network. And my career in media began when in university I was majoring in economics, but I took one film course and thought, this is interesting, and made a student film. So by the end of my university career, I decided to abandon economics and pursue a career in film and television. I'd say that the thing that we got right at the very beginning was just recognizing that in Kenya there wasn't something for children on TV that had good content. And it was sort of surprising given that almost half of the country is under 18 years old. So you kind of go, wow, what an incredible underserved population. At the heart of a TV station is the programming strategy. So one of the things that we were looking for as we thought about programming the channel, and this was really based on feedback from the marketplace, was just understanding that if parents are going to have their children spending time in front of the TV, there should be some benefits. And so all of the programming that we were looking for has some kind of learning outcome, or you could say educational content. We then also knew that it needed to be entertaining, because otherwise children wouldn't watch it. And then the third piece was relying on our Kenyan programming team to evaluate whether a program would resonate in Kenya. So that's where myself and my co-founder step aside and rely on the Kenyan team to decide, yes, we would like this show. You know, mornings we do stuff around for preschool, math, reading, science. Later it's social emotional, creativity, critical thinking. And then as we go into the afternoon, the programs aren't trying to replace the core curriculum, but are providing things that, you know, for example, a show like Sci Girls is showing girls doing science. It's a really motivational show that would encourage girls to pursue careers in science. So the learning outcomes are very broadly defined, not replacing the core curriculum. This slide is from an establishment survey that Ipsos, one of the market research firms in the country, did. And they were doing establishment surveys every 5 years. They had one in 2015. They were going to do 2020. COVID got in the way. They did 2022. The significant thing on this slide is the watching of television went from 24% to 74% over that 7-year period. We got a broadcast license in 2013 from the Communication Authority. Had we been fortunate enough to have closed a funding round in 2013, we'd be out of business. There weren't enough people watching to support the advertising and clients, and we wouldn't have had the kind of viewership. So even though it was really frustrating for us, and I can't tell you how many, it's like, I did a 5-year financial plan in 2013, then I needed to update that in 2014, 2015, you know. It was frustrating, but frankly, I'm glad that we entered the market when we did, not in 2013, just in terms of just the change in viewership of television in Kenya. And I will say that when we did our first viewership measurement, I went back to look at what I had projected. You know, so you do a business plan, how many viewers, what the revenues are, you know, other sort of key metrics. After 4 months on the air, we had twice the viewership that I had projected we would have in 4 years. So, I mean, COVID had a lot to do with it. We spent all of $10,000 on marketing, but kids were home, parents were home, they were just clicking through and suddenly discovered something that looked like appropriate for their children. We're reaching now 46% of the children in the country on a weekly basis that have access to TV, which is estimated 80%. I know households that have television in Kenya around 55%. That differential of the 55 to 80 is just, oh, they don't have a TV. Like when I grew up, I didn't have a TV, but I watched TV at a friend's house. So whether it's a community, a cafe, a bar, obviously not the kids in the bar, but adults in a bar. So it's children, and the reach of adults is around 37%. And then just sort of the value proposition. If you want to reach children or households with children, we're the way to go. The business model is selling airtime to both commercial advertisers and then also airtime to NGOs or government ministries, government agencies, and then sort of in between that is corporate social responsibility. So commercial entities that have a CSR component. And then this was very early on. One of our investors was Acumen. Before they invested, they're an impact investor, they wanted to understand, oh, well, are you actually having impact? And so they commissioned a third party, 60 Decibels, to do interviews with 300 parents of children that were watching Akili, and we had a database of 75,000 phone numbers, so a random sample of that. Sort of the highlight from that study is that when parents were asked, have your child's how has your child's academic performance been? They said that Akili was responsible for significantly improving their child's academic achievement. So 95% said that, 5% said it improved. So we were definitely having impact. And I say the impact is of the menu of programs that we were delivering. So depending on the age of the child, we were having positive impact either for school readiness or, oh, they learned Swahili or their math had improved. So I guess we go to the Q&A.
I want to ask you as a leader, you say that you started way back in 2012?
2012.
Yeah, 2012.
I mean, Akili.
Yes, Akili, yeah, before you were able to, come out on air. So I just want to understand that journey for you as a leader, because I'm in a startup and I really want to know what really made you stay, and you never quit in the process.
I'd say that, if you were to ask what's my superpower, my partner says it's networking. I would say it's tenacity and not giving up. So it's a lot of sweat equity, but, eventually the idea of being able to launch something that we saw as really needed and that could be really interesting is what allowed us to stick with it. I'd say that the journey that was a little frustrating at time, and sort of the advice I would give in terms of trying to find investors is really narrow your search and really understand what investors, be happy with a no. Get to a no quickly. Because it's the maybes that kill you, where someone is maybe being polite, they're not getting back to you quickly, really trying to understand what's driving the investor, what's going to be appealing. And I will say that in the beginning, we were looking in the wrong place.
You say that Akili Network is the only non-paid channel. I happened to have an opportunity last year to attend actually a call for content by Ubongo Network, which took place at Peak Hotel in Westlands. And they also said that they also a non-paid channel. So I really just wanted to understand something about that.
Ubongo isn't a network. They're a company that produces programs. And those programs we actually air on our channel. And we were the first entrant, a free children's channel, 24/7. There are other children's channels that were in the market first, but they were pay. So you could subscribe to DSTV, GoTV, Star Times, and get a children's channel, but they were pay.
I have a question to you that mainly comes from an interview you did, where you mentioned that before you go to a specific job or venture into a specific area, you need to have at least 80% knowledge in that specific area. So my question is, does the same principle apply in entrepreneurship? And if your answer is yes, did you wait to have 80% of knowledge in film before you made the transition?
So, I mean, I do think, whether 80% or some percentage, it's, you want to be at least comfortable enough, know enough, and or, frankly, know people. And so I think part of it is, if you're going into a new field, who's going to be your partner? So I have a partner. He's much stronger at marketing than I am, and stronger at sales. I'm in programming, legal, HR, creative. So partnering is one way to overcome what you don't know. I just think otherwise it becomes overwhelming. So I will say that, hey, I had never run a TV network before, but my background was creating children's content, both live action, animation. I've run companies where we grew revenues to $25 million. So that experience, transferable, and then worked with some people that I knew who had run networks.
Is there a channel or maybe a section whereby, apart from them learning science and maths and these things they're learning in school, something that can teach them the real world, like not just employment or jobs, but how to create businesses?
We do have a financial literacy program in our station. It's called Cha-Ching. Actually, we're working on renewing the contract again. It's been running for the past 2 years. And what it does, it teaches children how to earn, how to save, how to donate, and how to actually even spend the money that you've created. So we've had you, and we are looking forward to renewing the contract hopefully by November, and adding more content just to make sure that we are actually nurturing our children to grow up. And the other thing that I wanted to add, everyone who's here, I would like you to come and support Akili Kids, and we will also support you in any capacity that we can. I am a salesperson, so come and take this mic away from me, because yes, how we earn our revenue is through advertising, CSR, and also through our event. And the event that you've actually seen on the TV, it's happening again, and it's going to be bigger and better on the 7th of December. It's called Treasure Hunt, and this is going to be our 6th edition. So how it happens, once you pay your ticket, your children and also you can bring out your inner child and play all the games that are there. The only thing that you'll only pay for is maybe the food that you will buy on the ground. So all of you are welcome to join us.
Thank you.